Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Jennifer's Perspective. And today, my very special guest is Miss Haley Gray. And Haley is the CEO and founder of At Fiercely Marketing. Haley has a burning passion to help small business owners with their businesses. In 2012, while at Duke at Fuqua School of Business studying for her MBA. In fact, Haley kind of geeked out on it so much that she decided to pursue her concentration in entrepreneurship and innovation. Haley is also the founder of Leadership Girl and the Women Entrepreneur Network, and she also has one of the largest Facebook's group on Facebook, where she grew her client base to 70, almost 73,000 members. Now, with that, Haley decided to focus on helping small businesses full time with their businesses and marketing strategy, and started growing the Women Entrepreneur Network group on Facebook. Now, what she quickly learned is that many business coaches and marketing strategies are in it just to sell you something, and next thing that they offer you, whether or not it makes any sense for your business. The thing is, at Fiercely Marketing, Haley works with entrepreneurs because she has been where we have been, and that is the challenging part. And she is I've took a couple of her coaching classes, and Haley, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so very much for being our guest here today.
Thank you for having me. This is an honor.
You're welcome. Say hello to the people. And I'm just going to ask you a few questions, Haley. Can you just share a little of your backstory with us, and tell us about yourself, how you got started, and how you got into the coaching business?
So my business is kind of like twofold. One is doing digital marketing, which is websites and social media management and ads and search engine optimization and doing all the marketing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very long career in tech as a software engineer. And I went back in 2011 to get my MBA, and my manager told me I was going to leave, which eventually became a self-fulfilling prophecy. I got my concentration in entrepreneurship and innovation. And while I was at Duke, I actually started helping small business owners with running their numbers and figuring stuff out and doing things. And it just grew from there. And then I started a senior home care agency doing non-medical home care. And I also bought a Care Patrol franchise, which is helping families find assisted living, independent living, memory care, and in-home care. And we did a ton of placements. And I did that for 3 years until my daughter had a traumatic brain injury and fell from a horse.
And she fell from a horse?
She did.
For real? Ooh.
And
how's she doing now?
That upended our world. How is she doing? Well, now she has just been placed into a group home permanently because she developed severe, persistent psychiatric issues. So we've had 18 hospitalizations. We've had numerous suicide attempts, some homicidal attempts.
Oh my gosh. She had a brain injury?
Yeah. And, since that,
I'm so sorry.
I decided to sell my home care agency. My life basically imploded. My husband wondered why I wouldn't go get a job. And I grew my business through grit and persistence. And yes, at the beginning there for a bit, I was driving Uber and Lyft and doing all the things, and you know, working pretty much 24/7 while managing my daughter's care, and you know, multiple hospitalizations back and forth between trying to resume high school, doing the things that we needed to do to keep everybody safe and healthy and whole. So, you know, digging my way up little inch by little inch. And I swore when I left corporate, I would never do another website again. And I initially just focused with Women's Entrepreneur Network on doing business coaching and doing social media. And I had a lot of people who would come to me saying, hey, my website is broken. Hey, this is that. You know, this is not complete. Hey, can you do this? So we honestly have spent a lot of time finishing websites, clearing stuff up, doing all the things, and grown our business little bit by little bit. And you know, it's been an interesting challenge on seeing a kid who needs 20 hours a week of care or more, depending on whether she's out of the hospital or in the hospital, or where we are in dealing with psychiatric issues, with, you know, client work and building a business and doing all the things. And, you know, so when people say, yeah, I've got all this stuff going on in my life, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from, because she's my oldest of 4. So I have 3 kids who are younger than she is.
Okay, so you have 4 children and she's the eldest?
So, you know, so we've been living life, you know, high school graduations, applying for colleges. My 3rd child, my oldest son, is getting ready to graduate from high school, and we're in the middle of the whole college application process right now, and figuring out where he gets in and where he gets scholarships and all those fun things. And then my youngest is 14, and he's in an all-boys military boarding school because he felt safer there.
Well, why was that?
Because his older sister, with her psychiatric issues, part of it is homicidal intent.
Oh my God, that must have been hard on the entire family.
It's been a process.
How have you been doing?
I've done okay, you know, but it's been tough. It's been brutal, you know, building a business while dealing with constant hospitalizations. The shortest amount of time between hospitalizations was 16 hours.
Okay.
The longest we got was maybe 3 months, and everything in between. And, you know, it's a challenge. I think a lot of times people assume that, you know, they have a kid who's sick or they have something going on and they just can't. And I respect that. You know, we all have different capacities to handle chaos and adversity in our lives. And, you know, it's been an honor to really help a lot of small business owners grow their businesses. And, you know, see what results we can get. And that's part of why I do the mastermind group that I do, because it gives people an easy access point, and a lot of the workshops that we do, because it gives people an easy, low cost access point. Somebody who's been there, who's got the experience, who's done hey, I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs. You know, I've helped people build multiple 6-figure businesses and scale them from there into 7 and 8 figures. It is, you know, getting.
And you were doing all of this while dealing with everything else. Now,
absolutely.
Were you doing it just to keep busy so that you don't have to deal with but then again, when you're working for yourself, you have no choice. You understand?
When you're working for yourself, you have no choice. No, absolutely. When you're working for yourself, you have no choice. And yes, I was, you know, like I said, in the beginning, I drove for Uber for about a year. after I sold my home care agency, because it was easier to do that than to do the home care. So there were definitely times where I would drive until my car was almost out of gas, and I might have $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000 in invoices out that people hadn't paid me yet, and so I needed gas money. So what did I do? I drove until I had, 50 or $60 on my Uber account, and my car was empty, and I'd fill up my gas tank, and I'd go again for the rest of the night, so I'd have enough cash to get me through for the next few days.
Now, how long when did you start Leadership Girl? And when did you start did you start them simultaneously?
No, I didn't. I started doing Leadership Girl and doing the blogging in 2012. And I started doing When in 2015.
And and you started with the digital marketing expert. Was that what you went to school for?
So my degrees are in computer science.
Programming.
And I have a master's of business administration with a concentration in entrepreneurship and innovation.
Oh, okay then. Now,
from Duke.
Well, it's an excellent school,
which is in the top 5 at the time I went through.
It is. Oh my God, Haley, let me applaud you, because for you to grow the company to the size that it is now, while dealing with all of that and still have peace of mind, very calm. How did you to talk to people from an introvert to an extrovert? How did you do the transition? Because on some of your posts, I see you saying that, oh my God, I had to start to speak to people that you wouldn't really speak with. How did you make that transition? How did you get over the fear and the anxiety of it all?
So I'm still an introvert. Let me just be really clear about that. So fundamentally, who you are doesn't change. But practice makes perfect. A lot of people will say, oh, I can't do lives. And I'm like,
really?
Oh, that's, because I need to lose 25 pounds, or because I need my makeup or my hair done. And I kind of giggle because, as the conversation we had before we got on here, when I was doing, when I first started, I was doing lives. I was over 400 pounds, y'all. So
I didn't know that.
So I need to lose 25 pounds to me is just like, oh, that's so funny.
So absolutely no excuses.
Absolutely no excuses. Oh, my hair. I need my hair done. My hair is doing crazy things. And I'm like, y'all, have you looked and seen what my hair is doing this week? There's a reason I don't use Zoom backgrounds, because my hair looks like it kind of like floats amorphically around my head and does like all kinds of weird stuff. And I don't wear a ton of makeup because, well, my skin just acts up. I got that genetic lottery. I have rosacea, and my skin just like will blow up like you wouldn't believe. So yeah, no, I just kind of giggle when people are like, well, I can't be on camera. And I'm like, oh, if you saw me the first few times I went to a networking meeting, like hanging to the sides of the room. And there's a point where you're like, this is do or die. I either talk to people or I'm not going to make any money. Okay.
Exactly.
Does my desire to make an income, does my desire to build a business, does my desire to make sales exceed my desire to not be seen? And there's a point where you have to put yourself out there and say, okay, I'm going to get out of my own way, because all of this stuff is here. It's all in our heads. We all decide we can't do something, or that we're not qualified enough, or we're too scared. But fear is an internal construct.
Exactly. I totally agree with you on that. When I say totally, when I first started, I did my first video for coach my first client. And when I did that, I was nervous. When I say I was so nervous, but I had to do I had to coach my first client because the money I spent for school, the years that I had to take for the preparation, and then just preparing and building the business. And I'm saying to myself, like, I can't, not only that, people like, well, do you only work with these type of people? Like, what type of people? I've narrowed down my niche and I'm working mainly coaching women one-on-one. And I do group coaching. My podcast is open to everyone because that's something totally different. But my business is, and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, I just have to really just do this, because what am I going to do? I can't go back to being a phlebotomist. I can because I'm licensed and I know what I'm doing, but is that what I really want to do? No, I want to help people shine and help people heal those inner wounds and gain clarity, and so that they can move forward. Now, as a digital marketer, what have you learned while building the business?
What I see is that a lot of people throw tactics at the wall and they hope that they stick. Without understanding what their goals are, or their messaging is, or who they're trying to reach. Coming to me to build a website, not knowing who your audience is or who you're trying to reach, means that we have to spend a lot more time doing strategy and going through and digging through that information before we can possibly begin to do a website. Because I can't build a website out of no information.
So that means you have to sit down, talk to them, find out what it is, like who their target audience is, and what exactly are they trying to achieve, and who are they trying to reach directly.
Yeah, and the other thing I see is kind of almost just a type of laziness.
Really?
Hey, I just want to do Facebook ads. And I just want to do Google ads for my business. Okay, well, do you have a good website? A lot of times the answer is no. So we actually have to build a landing page, or we have to build that website so that if we're driving traffic, there's somewhere to drive traffic to. There needs to be a whole, the whole thing has to tie together. You don't just throw it and hope it sticks, right? You don't just do Google ads in a vacuum. Or if you do social media, randomly posting here and there is not going to get you much. There has to be strategy behind it. And a lot of times, you either need to be engaging in groups or engaging with people via Messenger, or you need to be doing ads. And there's a whole strategy behind it. But I see a lot of people who will just start throwing Facebook ads up without ever having engaged with people online, or who will try to buy their way in, or who try to do stuff. And
Can they do that?
Doesn't work very well.
What are they trying to buy their way into?
Oh, I'm just going to throw money at ads, right?
Okay, I see a lot of that. A lot of that.
Or they try to go for, hey, I'm just going to sell my course and I'm going to make money while I sleep. But they've never sold the first thing online.
And are they connecting with you? Do they know and trust you? Did they build that know and trust you factor where they're connecting with their clients and who it is that they're marketing to? Because why do you buy a brand? Most brands out there, Colgate toothpaste or Maxwell House coffee. Why do they get something? Nike shoes or
brand recognition, right? And what Maxwell coffee is. You know what you're getting when you get it. But random course person who has no following and you've never serviced anybody online, it's really hard to nail down your message. It's really hard to make sure that your sales copy is going to convert. And sometimes, you have to try 2 or 3 or 4 different things or 20 to get a funnel that's actually going to convert. It's not like, boom, it's done. You've got to put the money into it. And I think that most people think that, oh, well, I went to this guru's training over here and he said I could spend $2,000 and hire a VA in the teams to build a funnel and run a couple $1,000s of ads and it's all going to be beautiful. And unfortunately, what we see is probably not. You might maybe manage to get the right copy in the first go, and you might maybe manage to get the right VA in the first go, but the chances are actually pretty low. Anybody who is successful in this online world has more of a sales process than that.
Now, what do you recommend? Don't you recommend that in order to build the business? I was speaking to you earlier and you were saying that I've been up like you worked your butt off. You worked your butt off. How did you do it, Haley?
Talking to people, connecting with people. I do lives. I do a lot of posting on social media, but most of the stuff that is posting is scheduled. It's pre-scheduled. But actually just connecting with people. It's amazing how connecting with people and word of mouth gets you the referrals and the clients. There's a point where, yes, you may decide to do ads and do stuff, but you've got to have a clearly defined funnel for that. But until you've figured out exactly who that target audience is so that you can dial the ads in, so you can dial the funnel in, it's kind of pointless.
Now, can you just tell for those that are listening who don't know what a funnel is, what is a funnel?
So a funnel is the sales process of taking people from being out there to being in here. In the online world, a lot of times people confuse a sales funnel with being, like, hey, ClickFunnels is a sales funnel. Yes, that
I've seen that.
And implementation of a sales funnel, but it doesn't mean that is your sales funnel. The sales funnel is your process of, follow-ups and maybe landing pages, maybe not. How are you touching people? How are you connecting with people? How are you making those connections?
Now, you also are a business coach. Can you share a little bit of that with us?
Sure. I work with a lot of small businesses, small to medium-sized businesses, and we're focusing on really the marketing aspects of your business. Not that I don't have the training and the education to do the other stuff, but I tend to focus a lot on marketing holistically and marketing as an end-to-end process in your business. So what does it look like from the first time somebody touches your business all the way through and all the way out until they're done? And how are you following up with people? How are you getting them to re-engage? How are you getting them to buy again?
And what type of programs do you currently offer?
So I do either one-to-one coaching, or I have a small group program, which is a mastermind that meets twice a week. And you can choose to come to one, both, or, either kind of things. So
I also understand. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's pretty easy.
I also understand that you have a summit coming up this year.
I do. I have 2 summits. I have one in April and I have one in September. So the one in April is whensummit.com. It is April 15th through the 17th. And tickets are on sale. If you go and buy your ticket now, they're $27. But if you use the Bring a Friend coupon, the ticket is brought down to $1. So it is super inexpensive, and it's 3 days of mastering your business mindset. And then September 23rd through the 25th is our next summit, which is going to be focusing on social selling.
Okay. And with social selling, just tell us a little bit what it is that people need to know or understand. how to navigate their way around social media and how to sell on social media.
How to leverage free platforms on social media,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes with a touch of paid, to grow your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now that, oh my gosh, I remember I went to one of your summits, Haley, and it was amazing. I met some of the most amazing people there. I met Katarina Rondo. I met Joe from Bedrock Builders. I met Martha Du Bois, and these people are so awesome. And you've known Martha for years and Joe for years, and Joe always sings your praises because when he started that, you helped him to build his Facebook group and you helped him to actually get new clients. And Haley, you are so wonderful, absolutely amazing. Do you think that you can share a little bit of your golden nuggets with us and tell us how to get in contact with you? How can the people connect with you either here on Facebook or on LinkedIn?
So you can find me in Women's Entrepreneur Network,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook group that's got like a gajillion people in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on LinkedIn as Haley Gray. And
Mm-hmm.
you can also find me at my website, fiercelymarketing.com.
Now, let's see. Now, at fiercelymarketing.com, and are you on LinkedIn as well?
I am.
Just as
LinkedIn
Haley
is Haley
Gray?
Gray. Yep.
Are
And
you
you
on
can find
Twitter?
me as I am Dartha Stewart.
Dartha Stewart?
Dartha Stewart, welcome to the dark side of housekeeping. Thank you very much.
You're also on YouTube. Is that correct?
That is correct. We're on YouTube as Women's Entrepreneur Network.
Okay, then. And I know that, are you on VMO or is
We're
it VMO?
on Instagram as Women's Entrepreneur Network and
Mm-hmm.
Leadership Girl and Dartha Stewart as well. Dartha Stewart is my private handle.
Oh my gosh. If
And
you would,
at some point, I will tell you why I haven't had to do laundry in 29 years.
now you know that I'm going to ask you, right?
Mm-hmm. Because when I first got married 29 years ago,
What
I
did you do?
screwed up the laundry so badly.
Did you turn all the white clothes colored and all the colored clothes white? Like your husband
Hey,
was a smart man. He was like, okay, that's it.
I
No
can
more
do
laundry
many
for
things.
you.
I can bake up a storm. I'm a heck of a cook. Just don't ask me to do laundry.
Aww.
But
Now,
then we understand our limitations, right?
well, self-awareness. It took me a long time to admit that I'm actually a good cook because I didn't want people to know that I can actually make a decent meal because I'm not a fan of it like all the time.
Mm-hmm. Same.
But and I'm like, oh my God, but I'm a very good cook. But people be like, can your sister cook? They be like, don't ask her. I'm like, why? Because I have other things to do.
I have better things to be doing.
And right now, my meals have to be within like 20 to 15 minutes of, say, half an hour, because I'm not cooking for a group of people. You understand? So I like simple food. I like simple food and simple and healthy food. And I'm saying to myself, like, okay, this is good. Now, what are some of the mistakes that you notice that people who are on Facebook, we have 2 more minutes. What are some of the mistakes that you see newcomers to online marketing? What are some of the mistakes that they make that you see that you're aware of?
I would say they spray and pray.
Ooh, what is that?
Spray and pray. They drop their links everywhere, right? They go into groups and they drop their links and they drop their links and they never engage and connect with people.
Really?
That's a big one. Then I would say spraying and praying in terms of what do you do?
Spraying and praying. I thought it was more spaghetti. I call it spaghetti.
Yeah, but like
because especially
what
for
do you do?
newcomers,
Well, I
because
write and I do.
they're finding their way around.
Well,
because they're finding their way. They're finding their way around.
But if you don't know what you're selling, and you'll do anything for a buck. Are you willing to do anything for a buck?
But you can't do that.
In the online world, if you're trying to do this and that and the other and the other and the other and the other and the other, it doesn't work well. People don't know who you are or what you do.
Exactly. And I sit down and I say to myself, when I first started, oh my God, I'm like, where do I go? What do I do? Who do I connect with? And when that is why in my book, Marketing Basics Led by the Spirit, it actually has the go-to people, where to go, who to connect with, like who to contact, which group of people that, especially in the coaching industry, and how to find and build a business so that you can have longevity. Because when you're first starting out, you need a solid foundation.
Yeah, you do.
And that was what I had to lay the foundation first. And once I started laying the foundation and started adding, I'm saying to myself, okay, now this is going to work and this is really, really good. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad I took the time to connect with you, to connect with some of the other amazing people that I have met online. And I'm saying to myself, wow, this is good. Because when you're making that shift, where you can, okay, it's nice to stay, you have to level up in every way. And you can't just do it and I realized I literally have to speak to a lot of people, all the time. People, what are you doing? I can't talk right now. Hello, hey, sweetie. No. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that right now because they want different things than I want. And I'm saying to myself right now, the business is priority. The business is taking everything that I have right now and just to get me through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And because this pandemic is what, another year?
At least.
And I have to just do the best that I can.
Absolutely.
Right now and find the people that I'm serving so that they can serve me and continue to grow the business and to help them, and in the process help myself, because the lights have to stay on. You understand? I am running a business. You understand?
I totally
and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not only that. You can only pro bono for so long. Like how long can you pro bono? You understand? But I did say it again.
You shouldn't be pro bonoing.
And I had to do pro bono when I first started, because I guess when I first finished school, because I had no experience. But now
you shouldn't be doing pro bono.
And I reach out to everyone and I'm like, okay, then. Okay. So now I'm trying to monetize my group and monetize my podcast. I'm learning little by little. And I'm saying to myself, wow, thank you. But how do I do that? How do I find my tribe, not just the people that just want to hang around? And I also understand that I also have fans and I also have followers. But
you turn them into something.
Yes, and I'm saying to myself, how do I help them? Or how do I get my followers not only to be fans, but to be customers as well? And how do you teach that?
It's understanding who your tribe is.
Who your tribe is. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Who your tribe
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, start to understand who exactly you're trying to attract into your tribe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You think about who you're trying to attract and go find those people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Intentionally go surround yourself with those people.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or a networking group or a chamber of commerce or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
go surround yourself by those people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's easier said than done. I mean, it's not like
It is. It is. Let
it's
me tell
not,
you
it's
something.
simple, but not easy.
It is because in my state they have like meetup groups on Meetup, and they have women in business and network marketing, but you also have men in business as well. Like, okay then, how am I doing this? How am I helping the men and the women? How am I networking? Then I had to learn like a totally different lingo. And I'm like, okay then, this, I like this. Now, do you have any other you have something coming up I think
I will have things
shortly?
coming up. I have a
What do
cracking
you
the
have
Facebook
coming up
algorithm
now?
group class
What
on
is it?
Friday. Cracking the Facebook algorithm.
Really? Is that a thing? Can you actually do that?
Can understand what's going on with the algorithms and work with them. Yep,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Now, cracking the Facebook algorithm, when is that?
That is this Friday at 3:15 p.m.
3:15 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And where is it that's going to be in your group? Is it going to be live?
It's online and it's a paid workshop.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I
Yeah.
think.
It's going to be a small workshop, but it's going to be really, really jam-packed, talking
Did
about
you put
ways to make it work.
did you put the promo up?
I have put the promo up. Yep.
Okay.
In my group
Okay. Are you
and on my
listening,
page.
everyone? Are you listening? Haley's giving, look, Haley is teaching a class on how to crack the Facebook algorithm. The Facebook algorithm. Now, why do you think that is so important for people to either know and understand? Because
I think
Facebook changes their algorithm all the time.
yes. And there's certain things that don't change.
Really?
There are certain things that are truth.
Well, hmm.
Um,
And
and there are certain things that you can do that will enamor you with the algorithm. The algorithm will like you, and there are certain things that you can do that will piss the algorithm off and make it mad and cause you to go into Facebook jail. And when you start to understand those,
and
then you start to do a lot better with your engagements.
why did like I remember the first time I went to Facebook jail, I'm saying to myself, what happened? Like, what did I do? Did I post something? Did I say something? Did I do something? And why do you think they do that?
Um, you know, there's a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One is that you've gone into too many groups and you've promoted, or
Mm-hmm.
they think that you're commenting too fast and you're a bot.
Yes, I've noticed that. I've
Um,
noticed
you're
that.
copying and pasting to too many people in a row. You
Mm-hmm.
are behaving antisocially. There's a
What do
lot
you
of
mean antisocially?
being rude, posting nasty
Oh,
stuff on
yes,
Facebook.
rude, nasty comments and everything like
Yep,
that.
that'll get you put
Yeah.
into Facebook jail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just do they need to treat you like a toddler, or are you going to behave like a grown up?
I'm an adult. I haven't been to Facebook jail in a long time. Yay.
My last time in Facebook jail that convinced them that I was a bot was that I was being too consistent with my lives.
Really?
I was going live at the same time every day.
But aren't you supposed to if that is the
I
time
started
slot?
varying it a little bit.
Now, with one of your groups, I understand that you can you the women can, I guess, sign up to be part of the One Network, and they can market and advertise within the group. And can you explain that?
Yep, that's
You can plug it as a promo.
that is our One Live program, and you're basically doing a live video once a week or twice a week if you decide to sign up for more. And it's intended to allow you to build your audience and get seen by more people faster. And it works. So we encourage people to come in and promote themselves and put really valuable content out there. And it's amazing to see the growth that can happen.
Because you have such a large network. So for the women, or I guess for the business owners to network within the group, then they can reach those outside of the group as well. I think it's fantastic.
So when they're networking in the group or they're promoting in the group, it's just within the group. It's just the 73,000 in the group. But it's a pre-built audience, so we know roughly what we're getting. It makes marketing a lot easier. It takes a lot of steps out of your marketing process to go ahead and get in front of people. So you could have a video that gets seen by 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 people, and interacted with a lot of people. Where if you think about it, if you're doing a radio show on Voice America, you may reach 15,000 in your first year. Here you may reach 15,000 in your first month if you do it right.
Wow. Awesome. So
you're going to see a lot more reach. Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. That's cool. Now we have, I guess we went over the time, but it's okay. Do you have any more golden nuggets for us? And something that women, especially women in business, need to understand at, I guess, marketing in the midst of a pandemic?
I would say connection with people is vital. It's all about the relationships. At the end of the day, marketing before the pandemic, marketing since the pandemic, during the pandemic, is all going to be about relationships. I would suggest people go find my YouTube channel, Women's Entrepreneur Network. We do lives on there almost every day. We're putting tons and tons and tons of content out there. Trainings, lots of videos to really get people seen.
Okay.
And help them with their business resources.
Have you written any books, Haley, or any?
I have. I've written a couple.
You have? What do you have?
So I have a book called Fiercely Marketing, Your 8-Figure Business Blueprint, talking about marketing and getting your business to 8 figures and what you need to do at each step.
Fiercely Marketing, Your 8-Figure Business
Blueprint. Fearless marketing.
Oh, fearless. Okay. And where can they get the book?
Amazon. They should look for Haley Lynn Gray on Amazon.
Haley Lynn Gray. And what is the name of the other book?
Leadership Girl.
Leadership Girl. Now, how did you start Leadership Girl, and what made you want to start Leadership Girl?
I started blogging while I was at Duke, and I thought it was a lot of fun. And there's a lot of, there's very few women in leadership and entrepreneurship that are very, very successful. And my goal is to increase those numbers.
Awesome. Listen, now is the time, if not when.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And we can get both copies of the book on Amazon. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Okie dokie. Now, anything else?
That's it.
That's it, Haley, it was amazing. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And I always do this in honor and respect because, because I can't shake your hand and Like, give you one of these.
Right.
Oh my God, you are amazing. You're brilliant, you're smart, you're funny, you're beautiful, and you have a heart for, especially for what do you call new entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, because you've been there. Can I say for? Or is that the right word?
I think it is.
Yeah, because you've been where we are at now, and we're trying to level up to get to where you're at. And but it takes time, diligence, and consistency. And I say to myself, you have helped so many people, especially women in business. You've helped so many of us. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your time. And I guess I will be attending the cracking the algorithm, because this I have to find out like what's going on. I'm going to pick your brain. And I'm like, oh, really? Wow. You're smart, Haley.
Thank you.
You are friggin' amazing. Thank you so much, Haley. And you're welcome back anytime as my friend and as my guest. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Bye. We'll see you soon. Don't go ahead.